Good afternoon. My name is Neus Flores and I'm a member of areavisual.org, a community of audiovisual professionals of Spain and South America who have come to the Filmets Film Festival in Badalona to interview the writer and producer Clarissa Jacobson.
Thank you.
Welcome to Filmets, Clarissa. How did you first get involved in the Lunch Lady stuff?
Lunch Ladies, I'm a writer who made a film. So several years ago, I wrote the feature and I decided to make a short of it because I would send the feature out and people would say, this is crazy, murdering lunch ladies in love with Johnny Depp. So I decided to make a short film so that maybe the feature could get made to show people my vision of how I imagined this to look.
Yeah, I think you need to develop that a bit more because why Johnny Depp?
Okay. Well, the lead actress in the film, she is a friend of mine. We were in a play many years ago when I was an actress, when I thought I wanted to be an actress. And we've known each other for years, and we were out to dinner one night, and she said, I just wish someone would write a movie about lunch ladies because there just aren't enough middle-aged women, and she was always up against another woman, and there were always middle-aged women roles, and one of the other women would always get it. It was very competitive. So she said, if someone would write a movie about lunch ladies, we could both get the part. So I was like, lunch ladies, and then Donna was in, I'm going to spoiler alert, but Donna was in Sweeney Todd at the time. So I was like, that would be funny to do a spoof on lunch ladies at a high school with Sweeney Todd. And then I thought, everybody does spoofs on Sweeney Todd. I mean, we've seen it a million times, so why not wink at it, admit that you're stealing the idea? So the lunch ladies are super fans, in love with Johnny Depp, and they get the idea to do what they do because he was in Sweeney Todd. So that's why Johnny Depp, because he was in Sweeney Todd, yeah.
That's cool, and it shows in the film.
It's crazy. Like, my teacher said this will either be awesome, the best thing I've ever seen, or the worst thing I've ever seen, because it's so crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy and very funny. Did you follow some guidelines, or could you use your creativity to shoot the short?
So I had a very specific idea of how I wanted it to look. And then when I searched very long, the first director I had did not want to do it. He decided he didn't want to do it because he said no one wanted to see two middle-aged female leads and all kinds of other wonderful things.
You're kidding me.
No, and I remember sobbing in my car, and I talked to my mentor, like, I'm never going to find the director. And he's like, put on your big girl pants, find someone. So I emailed just everybody, and it's a long story. I have a friend, Josh. And when I met with him, I said, this is how I see, like cartoon, big colors, surreal. He's like, I see it the same way. So we had the same vision of how we wanted it. And I think, of course, because I'm a writer, but the script is very, very important. And that script was worked very hard. There's not, 99% of what you see on the screen is on the script. So if you have the script, it should look like what you have on your page. So you put the right team together, they all come together and create what's on the page. And I had just the best team in the world, so.
That shows in the film too, it shows that you had so much fun with the film.
Time. Yeah, we really did.
Did you take into consideration any production limitations, such as the locations or finance, anything that was limiting?
Well, the hardest thing was the location. I called over 120 schools. Nobody would let us film because of the subject matter, or it was too expensive. But we finally found, it's funny, if you see the film, a Catholic school was the only one who would let us film. So we filmed at this Catholic school, but my original idea is I wanted it to be like a John Hughes type school and really elite kids. So we ended up, and this school is perfect, but it's not like an elite looking school. It's, it's more grungy and down and, more down. And so the director was like, let's change it to have like a Russian theme in the background. So he came up with this Russian idea to have like the Russian posters. And so we changed that a little bit. And then I financed it all with my own money. I saved all my money from my 9-to-5 job. And I had a budget to go by, but we just had amazing people that came on, and I really don't remember ever thinking there was anything that I couldn't do. It just somehow, I meditated a lot and the right things would come to me, and I was able to do it for what we had.
Okay, so you're a believer. You really believe that things happen if you think of them and you visualize them, they end up happening.
The crazy thing is I really learned this on this movie because I would hear that, but I never saw it real action because I had never made a film before. So, and there was a lot of things I didn't know. So I had to trust. And so anything would go wrong, like we had, for example, a set designer that he quit 1 week before. And there's a lot of set design in this movie. And he took all my assistant with him that I hired for him. And it was 1 week before, and I had learned through the process to be like, okay, anything that seems bad is actually good. Because it was good, because he got out of the way to bring the most amazing set designers. The first director that quit, he got out of the way to bring the best director. So I kept seeing it all in action, like everything that I thought. And once I started trusting, I was worried about the music. The best music came. I was worried the last song. I talked to friends, and I go, do you know somebody who can do this? Do you know somebody who can do this? And like one person would tell one, but I just put it out there, and then I find the best music. I know that sounds like a hippie, but it did work.
No, but it's good how you turn the negative into a positive, so that in the end, if you trust, it ends up happening.
I learned to just get, like in this movie, I learned to get out of the way of myself. So anything that you think is bad is actually good, because it wasn't bad. Thank goodness that those people left, because the best people in the world came on.
So in fact, it's destiny, right? If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
I believe that you just focus, and you have to work. I mean, I worked really hard. I didn't just sit around and not call people. I called when the set designer quit, I called like 25 people, and now 24 of them had jobs, because it was only 1 week before. And like that 25th one just happened to be the most amazing husband and wife couple that just, I mean, what they did was amazing. So, yeah.
All right. So what was the most complicated experience while shooting?
Well, like I said, finding the location was hard, but the dance sequence, there's a big dance sequence, a big mashup dance sequence. And in the script, it's written very rhythmic, with trays dumping. And my mentor teacher, who's my writing teacher, he was a tap dancer on Broadway. And he said, I have this idea to do this mashup of like tap dancers, hip hop dancers, ballet dancers, and do it in the, like a crazy kind of high school musical on crack thing. And I said, I don't know what you're thinking of, but you're the most talented person I know, so whatever you want to do, you can do it. And we didn't know if it would work out. I didn't know if enough extras would show up, because I didn't have the budget to pay them, and it was all like their first job. I didn't know the dancers only had like 1 hour to get it. We only had 3 hours to film it, because they were young kids. I didn't know how it would look. And I was hiding out when they were filming it, because I was terrified. And then one of the production coordinators, Estelle Matranga, came in, and she was like, oh my God, you got to see this. It's amazing. But I was terrified. That was very because it's a big, crazy scene. It could have gone south, but it turned out amazing. So.
Yeah, it's really good. And also your tap dancer teacher.
Yes.
I mean, you need to explain this, because last night was something.
Crazy. Well, it's so amazing, because he's the best writing teacher in the world. He taught me to write, and he's the most supportive person in the world. I couldn't have done this without him. And he was a dancer on Broadway, and I had mentioned this to Augusti, the director, and he's just so fun. And he said, do you think that he'd like to tap before the screening? And I didn't really believe that he was going to do it. And I said, maybe. And he did it. So we did a tap dance before the screening, a little soft shoot in front of this audience of wonderful people. And it was the coolest.
Yeah, and I must say it was really great. And you can find it in Filmet's webpage, because they took the shooting, everything that he did.
He's a wonderful, wonderful dancer. And a wonderful person.
Yeah. I can tell. Did you also use some post-production effects after the shooting?
Yeah. Well, I had Josh, who is the director, and Matt Folletta, who's the FX guy. They worked together for years, and they know they just did like a ton of. They know a lot of people in the effects industry. So Roger Nall and Brandon Flight are two buddies of theirs that came on to help do the visual effects, and then Matt did amazing special effects. And that's the director's old background, so he knew a lot. He just knows a lot about that, so I feel like it looks really great, because I said to him, I want it to look real enough that you're like, but I don't want it to look like Saw, like it's like you're just like, oh my God, that is real. So it had to be like a delicate balance, and I think they did exactly what I wanted them to do, which was awesome. So
yeah, I think everybody who goes and watches, they will see.
But it's not real. It's not like watching Saw,
So, did your experience as a writer help you enhancing, the script of the movie?
Experience as a writer helped me. You mean in filming or?
The script, basically, the story to make it better than it was.
Well, like I said, I'm in this amazing writing class, Twin Bridges Writing Salon, and we work stuff. Like, I think a lot of people will film something before it's ready because you're just excited. We just work it. So, like, the feature took 18 months to write. The Lunch Ladies, the feature was very difficult to write. And then the short was hard too. That was 5 months. And I just take it in until it squeaks, until it's just like every visual is as clear as it can be. And I just think if you have like a really strong script, because if it's not on the page, it's not going to be, people are like, oh, you can improv it or we'll get it in editing. No, if it's not on the page, most of the time it's not going to end up on. And then not to say that we didn't have a few improv moments, but it's pretty close to what's on the page. So
you always have to stick to the script.
No, I don't think you have to. I just think you have to have a really strong script. Like, I think to really develop the visuals and everything and make it so clear on your page. And, there were some things like the selfie. There's a selfie in it. That wasn't in the script. That was an improv that the actors did. But the story itself, the lines, almost everything was pretty much set in the script. So, yeah.
So was The Lunch Ladies based on a true story?
It's interesting you say that. It's not, but lately I've been seeing a lot of crazy stories about weird things like this happening. Some kid...
And you never know.
Yeah, like I just read some high school kid or baked her grandmother's ashes into cookies and fed them to her best friends, and they don't know how to prosecute this kid. I mean, it's like there's a lot of weird. So it's not a true story, but there's some weird.
Could be. So how does it feel to be selected in Filmet?
Amazing. Every festival that the film gets in, I'm so thankful and grateful. I made the film to be seen and that people get to see it. And the most incredible thing in the world is seeing the Lunch Ladies that are English speaking have Catalan subtitles or Italian subtitles, and to be around meeting different people of different cultures, and that you find out that you still can laugh at the same things. Like, you grew up across the world, have different experiences, but cinema is amazing because it brings people together and it's a universal language. So, yeah.
But the languages is a different thing here in Europe than in the States, right?
But there's still the connection. Like, you still laugh at the same things. Like, when I see films, that's what I love. Like, I still touched. It reminds you that you're all human. You're not Italy, Spain. You're still all human and connected. So I love it. I love it. It's been great. Yeah.
So do you hope to win a Venus?
Who doesn't? But the true joy is getting selected in the festival. Like, just to be selected. There's so many films that enter and don't get these opportunities. So just to be here is, and if we don't win and someone else, more power to them. It's awesome.
Sure, participating is always good, but getting an award, what would that mean to you?
It's the film has won quite a few, and the first one was like, oh my God, and every single one that I've gotten is exciting and wonderful. But I always maintain, like, I didn't make the film to win awards. I made the film to be seen and to get my feature made. And if you win an award, it's awesome, but it's not anything against the film if it doesn't. I can't even imagine being a jury and how you pick and how you decide. And our film is a comedy horror, and we might be going up against a drama, or somebody might just, it's too sick for them, like they don't like it. So I don't take it personally, but if you win, it's a wonderful feeling, but it's not why I'm here. What I'm like, oh my God, if I don't win, I'm going to be like majorly upset. I'm not.
No, but it may help to get your feature done, maybe.
It's true. But I also think, there's all kinds of stories of people that never get in festivals and don't win anything and are successes too. I mean, who knows what your path is going to be? So that's the way I look at it. Like, if I'm meant to win this award, I have truly believed that every festival, because you don't get in every festival, and I've always been just meditating on, it will get in the right festivals and win the right awards for its life, for the best life of the film. So if I'm meant to win one, that's for the best life. If I'm not, it's okay too.
Yeah, so just trust it then.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And have the joy in just making something that people get to see. I'm lucky. I'm happy, you know.
And what would you recommend to a cinema student to develop in order to become a good professional?
I think that you always have to remember that the work is all you have control over. You don't have control over how people are going to react to your work. So get in, for me, like my class has been everything because I need those second set of eyes and those people that support me that can say, this is, that I know when they say it's wrong. And when they say it's right, that they want what's best for me. So find your people that can help you create something really good. Be patient. It takes a long time. I think people rush, and just be patient. It's ready when it's ready, and be true to your voice, which it took me a long time to get like that. I have like a weird sense of humor, kind of. I mean, not weird, but it's quirky. And it took me a long time, and I really felt like after I made Lunch Ladies, I was like, this is the first time really felt like I was really true to my voice. Somebody would say, don't put that in it. And I'd be like, no, it's my film. I'm making it. I'm putting what I want in it. And I was really, so sometimes that's hard as an artist because you want to, people say just you have to be open, surround yourself with people that support you and want the best for you, but also be true to your voice so that you can get criticism when it's right, but know that be true to your voice, which is sometimes really hard. So, yeah.
So what are your next projects from now?
Well, I have a feature film called Stella by Starlight, which is a coming-of-age road trip. It's really sweet, much different than Lunch Ladies. So that's option. I'm hoping to get that done in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then I have another piece about Elizabeth Bathory that was optioned by Gisberg Bermudez. And he just had his film, The Whistler, was just picked up for distribution in North America. And he's a wonderful director from Venezuela that I met at the Morbido Fest. So maybe he can get that done and direct that. And I'm trying to get the feature for Lunch Ladies done, which I would like to direct. So we'll see. I just keep writing and creating and hope something breaks.
Of course it will. And what do you think is the best of the festival, Filmettes Festival right now? I mean, up to now, what is the best for you?
Well, this has been an amazing festival because it's just classy. It's beautiful films, beautiful people. They love filmmakers. They support filmmakers. Augusti, the director, has bent over backwards to make sure that I'm here with my dad who came and my aunt because we were so excited to be in Badalona. And I cannot think of one thing that has been, I mean, everything's just been, I mean, I know this sounds like, oh my, but it is. It's been magical. And it's part of because of the people that are this team have made it. So they welcomed me so much and made me feel so part of the festival. So yeah.
Well, if I can give my personal opinion, I think it's a great festival too. So I'm very happy to have met you. I thank you very much for your time, and you're welcome to come any other time that you wish.
I hope that, if I didn't have a film in it and I actually have the money, I would love to come to the festival again. Even if I didn't have a film, to see the films here and hang out with everybody. Such great sense of humor, my type of people.
Thank you very much, Clarissa. Thank you. Thank you very much.